Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. First of all, I just wanted to thank all of you who took the time to leave me such detailed, helpful, and kind comments. I so appreciate your feedback, so thank you so much. Now, this video is me tackling middle layers, and there's no collage on this page, and I think this is the second layer. Now, I know that lots of people are interested in creating first layers and tackling the blank white page, but middle layers may be even more challenging. Well, at least for me anyways, because there's so many directions I could go, and these decisions influence the final spread more so than the first layers. Now, a lot of what's on this page is going to remain in the completed spread. So I have to decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to cover up. Now, the very first thing I'm going to do is get out my viewfinder and just kind of scan the page and see what I really am wanting to keep. Now, I really love that stencil over there, and I'm really loving the echo of the dots, but it's in a different color and it's more pushed back. But I'm really loving those two parts of the page, and I'm really loving that. And the dots again, so it's moving my eye around the page with the dots here, here, and here. So I'm gonna try to retain this over here. And now I'm gonna get out my blue Stabilo pencil and just do a sketch. So I'm going to try to find out, where I can place things to retain the parts of the page that I want to retain. So I want to retain this and this for sure. So I think maybe I can make a face over here. And so instead of making a neck, because I really want to retain as much of this as possible, I might just kind of do like a robe dress-like figure instead of making a neck. And see, this way I can retain a lot. Like I can retain all of this part here. So now over here, I want to retain this part. So I'm going to see, this is going to be a little trickier, but I might kind of go like so. And now I might make a neck over here, so that way I can retain the dots here, and then I might make some hair. Now, I've received some comments about people asking me what art supplies that I'm using. So in the next few weeks, I'm really going to start, hopefully, being able to list the links to like my favorite art products and all the stuff that you see me using. I'll put links in my description, and so I will go back to my previous videos and do it for all the videos. So hopefully I'll be able to get that done in a couple of weeks. So generally I don't like for there to be just two figures, because I mean I really like odd numbers, and even numbers just seem really kind of uncomfortable for me, I guess. So I might put like, there's not enough room on the page for me to put another figure unless it's going to be a very, very small figure. So I might have to put like a sun, or I don't know, just some other kind of design element to just break up the even number, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do now is just figure out a background color, and I think I'm just going to go, because there's so much stuff going on here, I think I'm going to go with a cashew. Oh, and by the way, you guys, most of the comments said that there was no issue with my voice. There were a few comments that suggested that my the sound is a little low, so I'm really going to make an effort to speak louder. And I generally tend to be soft-spoken, and when I'm painting and working and filming a video, I have to remind myself to speak louder, and then sometimes I forget. So I will make a concerted effort to just speak a little bit louder. So I'm going to use this cashew right here, and that way I can like get a background going so the figures are more prominent, but right now there's just too much stuff going on, so the figures are getting lost. So I'm going to cover all of this up here. I might keep that little bit of blue there just for interest, but most of this is going to get covered up. And so what I'm going to do is make a sun over here, and that's just simply, like I said, to break up the two figures. I need a little bit more interest here. So I'm going to kind of draw this abstract kind of a sun or a moon or whatever it is, but it's just a design element to break up the monotony of the even number with the figures. So I am going to go like so. Now I'm really not liking this part at all. I appreciate some of the circles over here, but this just looks like a big mess to me, and I'm not really liking it. So I'm gonna have to kind of make this more interesting and bring maybe some collage. I'm not sure. This is kind of tricky. And I think for this spread, I'm gonna go for like an abstract kind of a face. Like, I'm not gonna go for a realistic face because I really am loving this blue here, and I might do some facial features, but it's gonna be an abstract face though. And again, I'm going to cover up this part of the page, and I'm really loving this here, but I mean, I'll keep that little bit for the hair, and then I'm going to cover this up. And I've mentioned this before, but sometimes we just have to cover up things that we love, and as much as I hate doing it, I just understand that, you know, I just have to, because it's in the service of the whole spread, not just that one little piece that I love. As difficult as it may be to cover up parts that I love, I console myself by just saying, okay, well, it's still there. I just can't see it. And now I don't know if that might be a bit too distracting this little kind of orbit here. So I'm just gonna kind of cover up some of it. So normally I would lay down inks on my base, like the transparent burnt sienna right here, the Liquitex. But since I want to go for an abstract figure, I don't think I'm gonna do that. And now I've got to figure out, you know, do I want to change the color of her face? I really love this line over here. I just love that. So I'm gonna keep that part. And I think what I'm gonna do is, because there's already pink here, I'm gonna drop some pink onto her face and just kind of play with that a little bit and see what that does. So now I've got to figure out this dress here. I am not liking it at all. So I'm gonna see what I can do about it. So I'm bringing this figure, some of this figure, into the other page. And that's a good way to unify the page as well, so that this spread reads as one spread rather than two separate pages. Because now I've extended this figure into the page right here. And so I think what I'm gonna do is, now this is Holbein acrylic paint, and it is in Rose Compose, and it's kind of like a Pepto-Bismol kind of a color. So I'm gonna use this pink with this orange over here, which is actually a Liquitex, and it's called Cadmium Red Light, but it is an orangey color. And I'm gonna mix the two together and kind of see if that color works a little better. Ooh, that is a beautiful color. So all I did was I mixed up this Compost Rose, and like I said, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of like a Pepto-Bismol color, and I mixed it up with this orange, and this is like a really beautiful coral color. And I'm gonna take some, and like I said, I like to put it in at least 3 different places on the page. So let me see here where else I can put some of this, move it around here, the page. Okay. Oh, that is a delicious color. Oh, I love that. That is so beautiful. So now I might keep a little bit of this blue. And so I feel like just this one color alone has really popped the page. And I just am seriously loving this color. It's so beautiful. And I'm gonna do a few more videos on color, because I think color can be, you know, really overwhelming. to kind of understand color theory and then to branch off and do your own thing and be confident in your use of color. And I speak from experience because I've mentioned this before, but in my first years of painting, I was very insecure about my use of color, and I actually was scared of using a lot of color. And there's just like a sense of, I had a sense of, I learned color theory and then it's like, okay, well, these are the hard and fast rules and you like have to follow them, type of thing. Anyways, that's how I was taught, and that can be very restricting. So I am going to do more videos on color and how, you know, to be confident in your use of color and then to also find your own style. And one of the things that really helped me is to realize that no matter what you learn or read or, you know, come to understand, there really is no color police. Like nobody's, you know, gonna tell you, well, you absolutely can't use that color. Or this color palette, or you can't mix these colors together. Like there are no hard and fast rules with color. All the masters broke those rules, and so can you, and so can I. So it's just a matter of learning the rules and then breaking them. So I am now really loving this dress part so much. Just that one color is just amazing. I love it. So I'm just gonna bring, oh, that's not showing up there, but I think maybe I'll try to bring it into the face a little bit. And so this is a piece of my collage, and I'm just wiping off my brush on it. And I do this to make marks that are personal to me without really any effort. And then so the next time I go to use a piece of collage, this might be perfect for what I need. And the second reason I use it is not to waste any of the paint on my brushes. So I am gonna put a second coat of this chalk paint and just kind of cover up some of these lines here, because I'm thinking that when everything is completely dry and the whole layout is done, I might come in with my Posca marker and like make some marks or write some stuff down. And so I want a thick ground for it. I don't want too much distraction. So now what I'm gonna do is just let everything completely dry, and then I'll come back in. But I hope that this video has illustrated how the middle layers are also super important, because these layers determine the finished spread more than the first layers. I mean, each layer is going to affect the subsequent layers, of course, but I look at it like with my first layers, I can, you know, most of that's going to get covered up generally, you know, a fair bit of it anyways. But these layers, like a lot of what happens in this layer is going to show up in the finished page. And I think the solid dress over here is really juxtaposed really well with all the stuff going on this dress. And so if this was too busy, then it's going to take away from this, and then it's just going to, everything's going to be too much. So I think this is a good balance here. And I don't even know if I want to keep this blue anymore. I mean, I thought I did, but now I'm thinking maybe I need to cover it up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cover it up. Okay, well, this is my middle layers video, and if you've watched till the end, then thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.